Okay, welcome everyone. Thanks for braving it out on Veterans Day today, and the weather starts dropping here, and making it here tonight for an important wellness lecture. It's one of the Feel Good Health wellness lectures here, and our esteemed guest tonight is Dr. Chris Edington, a chiropractic doctor and the director of the American Back Institute. Is going to talk about how to move a couch and other healthy back tips. Take it away.
Thanks so much. Thanks, Dominic.
Sure.
Nice to meet everyone. Thanks for coming. Welcome to the office. We're going to talk about how to move a couch or how to lift a couch. So Dominic was asking everyone as they came in if anyone's ever had back trouble. Pretty common problem, right? Right. Show of hands, who's had back trouble? Back trouble. Anyone care to show? Can you tell me your story? Without getting too personal.
No, I was on a horse ride in Mexico. So we're going through like different terrain.
Yeah.
So it was one of those things where after the horse, kind of like almost fell down.
Yeah.
It definitely twisted my back.
Okay. And how do you feel now?
Oh, now I feel great.
You didn't do it lifting a couch?
No.
Okay. Good. Little trivia to start. How many bones of the spine? How many bones of the spine?
33.
No.
No?
43.
No.
20 more.
If we count the sacrum as 25. 7 in the cervical spine, 12 in the thoracic spine, 5 in the lumbar spine, and 1 as your sacrum tailbone, right? And how many of these bones do we use to lift the couch?
All of them? No.
Who said none?
I did.
Who said none? There it is, right there. So ideally, the answer would be none, right? So the classic, so I sort of joke in the office, when I meet someone, I say, how'd you hurt your back? And then I'll often joke, to be honest, I'm not even making this up. I'll say, did you hurt yourself falling off a horse? You didn't fall, but I'll sort of joke that. But the most classic way that people hurt themselves, or at least their low back, is they just take their couch or their whatever, and they just heave it up. So what's happening here? So we take something, and if I use this. So I had a guy come to see me, and this is a classic story, just exemplifies a lot of things. This guy had a potted plant, probably something similar to this size. He wanted to move it from here to here. So he doesn't think anything of it. What does he do? He simply just goes like this, picks it up, turns, feels a snap in his back, and now he's in a world of hurt, right? So, classic scenario. We see it all the time. People lifting things, just muscling with their back, right? And how many bones have they used to lift that planter? They've used them all, or they've right? So the opposite, right? So they've done it from here, okay? So I'm getting to the point here, which is it's pretty obvious how to move a couch, which is not doing that, okay? So this gentleman ruptured a disc. When these people do this, they generally feel a snap or a pop. Not always, and this is the interesting thing, not always immediately following pain. It doesn't always work that way. It takes a while for inflammation to build up, and then they feel excruciating pain later on, and sometimes pain into the extremity. So that's what happened with this guy. And what can we learn from these sorts of situations? Which is, don't use the back to lift that thing, okay? So, a couple things. Number one of the focuses I always have in the office is core. And everyone knows this, right? Everyone knows the core stability. Everyone's seen a low back brace? Everyone's seen those low back braces? Home Depot used to make their people wear them all the time. The idea there is to act as an external abdominal brace. Okay, an external abdominal brace. And that's great for short term, but for long term it is not. And why? Why should we not wear those for long periods of time? Anyone?
Blood circulation?
Potentially, but not what I was looking for.
Weakens the muscles?
Weakens the muscles. So the brain says, hey, this is great, I don't have to do anything, I'm gonna just hang out and let this thing do my work for me. So of course we know that's not the answer. The answer is strengthening the core. So that's one of the things that we always focus on. So, 2 parts to this, lifting this planter or lifting our couch, and I apologize that I don't have a couch in here. Maybe we should have called this, lecture lifting a basket of medicine balls. That's what we should have called this. But anyways, so one of the things, of course, is contract the core prior to the lift, okay? That's the first thing. So consciously think about contract the core. Now, the interesting thing is, it does not need to be 100% contraction, right? Everyone always thinks in the office, I have people do these exercises, contract your core, and everyone does this, like this, and they hold their breath, and right, and then at the end they go like that, right? It's not going to work. It's not going to work. They have to contract minimally, but sustain it. Okay, so that's the first thing. Another question. Largest muscle of the body. What is it? Largest muscle of the body. Anyone?
The quad? What's it, the back?
No.
Hamstring?
No.
Back?
Glute max. Glute max. Okay. What is the muscle group that everyone forgets to use when they lift a couch? The hips. The hips. Right? So that's where this is coming from. So there's 2 parts to lifting our couch: core and hips. Okay. So squat mechanics. Let's talk briefly about squat mechanics. I need to volunteer. I need a volunteer. Yeah, you'll do great. Come on. Put your drink down. All right.
I got a sore back, by the way.
You got a sore back? We'll face. There you go. All right. I want you to face that way, and I want you to do a squat. And we'll all take a look. Make sure you get a real good close-up. Just do a squat. Just do a squat. You gotta do. You can't use the wall. That's cheating.
I'm an old man.
You're not an old man. Come on.
Okay, squat.
Okay, so this is interesting here. Okay, now I appreciate you being my volunteer. This is wrong. So he's done a classic thing. So he's squatted to lift this potted plant or his couch, and what has he done? See what my back's doing? See what my back's doing? My head is down this way. Okay. So what's happening here? I don't need to get too technical, but there's a lot of pressure on the low back when we face ourselves this way, right? So what we should really be doing is sitting back, and it's almost awkward. It's almost awkward, okay? So thanks for doing that. I appreciate that. But so we should be sitting back, and what I always tell people in the office here is, you imagine the weight is on your heels, okay? Our gentleman here had almost all the weight on the balls of his feet. So he was kind of going in this direction, okay? So he's kind of positioning himself like he's playing football or something like that, okay? But what we want is really utilizing the hips. And I know for myself, and generally men in general, don't use their hips when they lift. They're weird about sticking their rear out or something like that. I don't know what it is, right? But they are. So there's really two parts to this. And so the proper way was farther back, okay? And this looks a little funny, right? But it's the safe position. My back is still erect. My hips are out, okay? And now I've got a proper and safe lift. So that's how to move a couch, right there. And then these answers were creative. I liked, I don't have a couch best. That's the winner. I don't know who put that on, but I am deeming that the winner. So I want to show two exercises that can be done at home to try to, stabilize your back. And one of these is going to involve me getting on the floor, so I'm going to get on the floor. These are classic exercises. The first is called dead bug. We don't make these up. These are easy to find, and maybe some people who have done therapy for low back issues have done some of these. These are not the be-all and end-all exercises, and I'm only going to show two for the purposes of this video. But dead bug, nice exercise. You can do it with weights in the hands, okay? We're going to stabilize the core, okay? We're going to bring our legs up to 90 degrees. We're going to bring our arms straight up. Then there's a little bit of a coordination issue here. We're going to go back like this and up. Back like this and up. And so on and so on. Now, all the while, the core is tight. Okay? Okay? And a lot of times when I'm doing this with people in the office, I palpate their core. Okay? The next thing, and everyone knows, so everyone says to me, okay, you want me to work my core, I'm going to do sit-ups, right? Sit-ups. Okay? If there's a take-home message for this video, sit-ups are not a safe exercise for low backs. Okay? Or for the core in relation to the low back, I should say. They put too much compression through a range of motion, and it's potentially dangerous, frankly. But everyone knows it. Everyone knows it. I remember being a kid and being in school, and it was one of the fitness challenges or something, you know. They'd make you do them as fast as possible, which is tremendously dangerous. But anyways, so planks. Everyone knows planks, right? Everyone knows planks. And there's a million versions of planks, right? Simplest one, of course, is just a straight plank. I like to do something called a plank roll, okay? And there's lots of different variations of these things. One thing that I will often say to people is, and we know this from McGill's research out of Waterloo, is we want to combine the torso with the low back. So what I mean by that is, we're going to do a plank, okay? We're going to keep the rear end down, and we're going to turn the whole body at the same time. So what I mean by that is, we're not going to do this first. See how I'm dragging the hips, and then I'm spinning? We're going to try to do it all at once. All at once. Okay? Up, hold, back down. Nice and easy. Some people in the office, I'm going to do it wrong here, will do that. They'll snap it. Okay? And if you could do 6, 8, 10 of those at a time, you'll really feel it. It's good for the shoulders. It's good, obviously, for the core. So, a couple simple things to think about. But ultimately, when you lift a couch, stabilize the core. Don't forget about the hips. And that's the safe way to do things. So, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Hope someone learned.
Great, thank you so much. Fantastic. Just one little thing, our last thought, when you can get in these exercises, the tip from the last interview with David Atonga said, maybe you might, you know, we're all busy and everything, but you know, to strengthen your back if you've had back issues, he gave some wonderful exercises here to do. One suggestion that David Atonga said is you might want to get up at 20 minutes before, just set your alarm 20 minutes early, do it first thing in the morning perhaps, or fit it in, plan a little bit for your week for these exercises. Doesn't take that much extra time, and to strengthen up your back. And so thank you so much.
No problem.
Okay,
I hope someone learned something.
we learned a lot.